Hey, it's Dr. Rovetti again. In answer to your question, do you have a rateable impairment of your spine, which includes your low back, mid back, or neck? It's a little tricky. If you've had surgery on your spine for the work injury, you definitely have a rateable impairment. Some people have just pain in the back, residual pain, difficulty doing a lot of activities. Sometimes those don't qualify for a rateable impairment. And let's go through each part of the spine, and I'll explain what's going on. As far as the low back, the test for that to determine a rateable impairment is if the muscles are in spasm, then that's a rateable impairment. If there's a lot of guarding, which means the patient just jumps just by pushing on one or both sides of the spine, that's a rateable impairment. Same thing with the mid-back, if it pushes, and same thing with the cervical spine, pushing on there. And then if there's guarding, there's definitely a rateable impairment. Come on up, Mandy. Some people have residual complaints of decreased range of motion, and so that in and of itself is not a rateable impairment. Go ahead and have a seat. For example, if I'll have them turn this way, not very far, and then this way a lot farther. And you can see by that she can't return to the left very much. You would think that would be a rateable impairment, but in fact it really isn't in and of itself. There is a few real specific circumstances, such as if I have her go push her face forward and she kind of goes to one side, that might be a rateable impairment, but usually just range of motion in and of itself is not a rateable impairment. We also have people that get an MRI with a disc herniation, and that in and of itself also is not a rateable impairment. Unless the disc bulges on the side that they're having pain on, and you can attribute it to the disc, then that's a rateable impairment. But just a disc bulge, even a herniation, in and of itself is not a rateable impairment. What is a rateable impairment, though, is if patients have had arm pain from the accident that's been consistent throughout the course of treatment. Just having the subjective arm pain is a rateable impairment. And then if it can be substantiated with some objective testing, such as atrophy or reflex loss or dermatomal sensory loss or weakness, then that's even a further a higher rating. But just having subjective pain just throughout your whole course of treatment, that's a rateable impairment. And really, that's for the spine. That's about it. So the only symptom is pain, a little bit of loss of range of motion, and you'd think you'd get some impairment rating percentages, but that's really is like 0%.